expansion coming to a franchise that has been on this stage before.
Elden Ring. Fuck. Capcom. Monster Hunter. Wait, Monster Hunter. Oh shit! Oh! Is this G rank? Is this G rank? Oh my god!
Negated the weight of buildings and mounted the
Master rank! Oh my god! Finally, we have it! Finally! Oh my god, this looks so good! Is that a new weapon? Oh my god! It looks so good! He has like a rocket booster. Oh my god, we finally have it. The DLC. Oh my god. Wait, next year? Next year? Oh my god. What's up? I'm SYROBE, back again. It's been so long since my last upload since I had to move very recently. And preparing for a full-scale VTuber debut very soon. I've put so much into this project, so please keep an eye out on my Twitch live streams for more details soon. But like many of you, I creamed my pants at the reveal of the Monster Hunter Wilds DLC announcement during the Summer Games Fest. And Kingdom Hearts 4, but I doubt most of you care about that. For once, Jeff Keighley actually beat the Sid the Science Kid allegations. Anyways, it was an amazing trailer, and my initial thoughts is that they have a new gadget called the Boost Bracer, which reminds me of the Clutch Claw from Monster Hunter World. The devs described it as activating the Boost Bracer will temporarily enhance actions such as attacks, combos, and mobility, allowing for more versatility in hunts. But the biggest thing is obviously the new monsters we saw. First, this brand new pack-based bird wyvern thing. Kind of just throws itself at you dive bomb style. However, we did see some returning monsters from the franchise, which were Kushala and Lotion, in addition to the G rank or Master rank quests. Which brings me to today's video to catch everyone up on what the strongest dual blades builds are currently for endgame Monster Hunter Wilds. You got more than a year to prep, so take your time, because sadly, to everyone's dismay, the DLC won't release until 2027. I'm hoping it'll be in February 2027, because that would be around the 2nd year anniversary of Monster Hunter Wilds. But don't get your hopes up too high, this shit could be the end of 2027 for all we know. But while we have plenty of time to wait, this part of the video is sponsored by Blizzard Entertainment. Diablo Immortal is a free-to-play hero fantasy game that anyone can jump into right now and immediately dive into intense action, powerful abilities, and a dark cinematic world with no experience needed. Pick up the game for free and instantly rip and tear through hordes of enemies, collect legendary gear, and explore diverse classes and abilities that truly make you feel. Use my code ZergRush to unlock free legendary gear, crests, and more. Honestly, the thing that surprised me the most is how fast the game throws you into the action. Within mere minutes, you're already choosing a class, unlocking abilities, and absolutely mowing down hordes of enemies. And it genuinely feels like the full Diablo experience in the palm of your hand on mobile devices. You can easily hop into battles together with friends or strangers, fight bosses, and grind for gear, without needing to be a hardcore Diablo vet to understand what's going on. Download Diablo Immortal right now using my link in the description below, or scan the QR code on your screen. Use my code ZergRush when you log in to get free rewards when you start playing. Thanks to Blizzard for sponsoring that part of the video. Now for my top 3 dual blades builds to use for Monster Hunter Wilds in 2026. All of these builds pretty much assume that you've already cleared all of the base game content up until Title Update 4.5, which means every monster slain up to and including Gogmazios, and literally all the arch-tempered max level monsters that currently exist. Each build serves a specific purpose for dual blades and are the best in slot that I have personally created all by myself. As always, you can make any adjustments you prefer, so let's get into each category as follows. A weakness exploit build for any monsters that are squishy, meaning monsters with hit zone values of 45 or greater, because that makes weakness exploit the most optimal skill for dual blades, as weakness exploit only works on hit zone values greater than or equal to 45. A dual blades tank shredder build for any monsters that are tanky, meaning monsters that have mostly hard skin which are hit zone values of anything less than 45, because anything less than 45 is when weakness exploit stops working at all, like literally doesn't fucking proc ever no matter how many times you hit it, which I see a lot of people getting wrong. It doesn't matter what color the damage numbers are, all that matters are the data mine hit zone value thresholds. And as you can see, I only have weakness exploit equipped, and when I set the training dummy to hard skin mode, which has a hit zone value of 40, weakness exploit will never trigger and I don't get any crits. The crits are little pink icons above your damage numbers. And lastly, a defensive dual blades build. This is going to be your bread and butter for a perfect balance of DPS and defense to help prevent you from dying or carding, and also allows you to still keep up as one of my highest DPS dual blades builds to date. Think of this build like training wheels but for dual blades. Perfect if you're not super experienced with the weapon. Before we get into build specifics, let's go over soft versus hard skin. In the trailer, we saw Kushala and Lotionlung, two old returning monsters from the franchise. But if we examine their data mined hit zone values, most of their values are less than 45, meaning these monsters are notoriously hard skinned. And who knows what other DLC monsters they plan to release, which I'm gonna assume will mostly be hard skin as well, as it seems like a trend for endgame content. This means any and all weakness exploit builds will be obsolete against hard skin, which is why I'm giving you my top 3 builds, as one of these 3 builds might not be the best to use, depending on if the monster you're hunting is classified as a hard skin or soft skin monster. So how the fuck are you supposed to know the hit zone values? Well, you don't. The in-game value for the stars should be enough, but most of these stats are just straight up misleading. Zoshia is a perfect example. Since dual blades do slashing damage, Zoshia's head says 3 stars when crystallized with a 40 hit zone value, which means weakness exploit won't trigger on its crystallized head at all. But then its forelegs also have 3 stars. So you know what that means? That's right, you guessed it. It has a hit zone value of 45, which means weakness exploit does work on its forelegs. So yeah, despite both parts being 3 stars, their hit zone values are completely different. A 5-point difference might not seem like a lot, but that is the exact threshold where weakness exploit does and doesn't work. These stars are extremely generalized values that don't actually help anything. If you want to know any exact values, just look up a monster's name followed by Kiriniko into your search engine and see any monster's true hit zones and stats. First up, we have the weakness exploit focused dual blades build. Again, this build is only to be used against monsters with hit zone values greater than or equal to 45. For a quick build summary, the weakness exploit build has 40 bonus raw attack, 82% affinity with 102% affinity on wounds, which you will be making a ton of wounds with thanks to the new buff Flayer that this build centers around as well, and over 1000 elemental damage. My build grants us the following skills: weakness exploit level 5, Flayer level 5, which was buffed in Title Update 4, Latent Power level 4, Burst level 3, Counter-Strike level 3, Convert Element level 3, Blight Resist, Recovery both at level 3, with Marathon Runner level 2, and Peak Performance level 1. We also get the Arkveld's Hunger 4-piece set bonus, Gogmapocalypse 2-piece set bonus, and Guts Tenacity group skill bonus. For the weapon rolls, I'm using the Eternal Cusp, which are the max upgraded Ardean weapons introduced with the Gogmazios fight in Title Update 4. These dual blades are 100% element focused to achieve over 1000 dragon elemental attack rating, crafted by using 3 element focused discs. Then for the rolls, Gogmapocalypse for the weapon skill, and Lord Soul for the weapons group skill, with all element boost bonuses and 1 sharpness EX bonus. For the armor, we have the 4-piece Gamma Arkveld set with the 1-piece Gogmazios coil, Power Charm level 3, and Evasion Mantle, which gives you 20% bonus attack damage rating every time you successfully dodge a monster's attack. And as dual blades users, we're always rolling around. For the decos, in the weapon, you need to have Dragon Crit Element Hybrid. The Crit Element Hybrid is very important because the elemental damage cannot crit without at least 1 level of crit element. And this is an entirely element-focused build. Then Sharp Jewel for infinite sharpness for 90 seconds after you sharpen your weapon, and Expert Jewel to top off our total affinity percent. Then for the armor decos, you need 1 Throttle Jewel, 3 Counter Jewels, 2 Sprinter Jewels, 3 Medicine Jewels, 1 Chain, and 1 Flayer Jewel. Flayer actually had a slight rework recently. It deals significantly more damage, has a higher chance of activating, and generally creates wounds a lot easier, making it a viable skill now, dealing up to 400 damage on a single Flayer proc at Flayer level 5. Absolutely melting monsters. Flayer is kind of difficult to explain, but I'll try to put it very simply. I've tested and data mined all this information myself. Flayer allows your attacks to increase the Flayer meter buildup against an enemy. When the enemy's invisible Flayer meter is full, you'll deal that burst explosion damage that Flayer is known for. But here's what most people get wrong. Not all hits or even attacks can apply Flayer. It's oddly specific, like Focus Strikes, for example, will never contribute to Flayer meter buildup no matter how many times you use them. So some attacks just can't apply Flayer. Flayer also will never apply against hard skin areas, so similar to weakness exploit. And even if the attack can apply Flayer buildup, each successful Flayer hit is only around a 45 to 50% chance to contribute to the actual Flayer threshold buildup. But that 400 explosion damage is so worth it, especially when you combine it with Convert Element. Convert Element is amazing because whenever you take any amount of elemental damage, you'll gain 2 buffs. The first is when you wield a dragon-based element weapon specifically, Convert Element will actually increase your dragon element by 180 at level 3, which is insane. The second is that your attacks will deal another explosion of burst damage, but this one is Dragon Element burst damage. And at level 3 Convert Element, the burst damage is 310, allowing you to do 700 instant burst damage when both Convert Element and Flayer proc. Convert Element stays active for 2 minutes and has a cooldown of 1.5 minutes. But the moment the cooldown ends, it can be instantly reactivated upon taking element damage. Latent Power at level 4 grants us 40% bonus affinity and reduces stamina depletion by 50%. However, this skill is cooldown based. Latent Power automatically activates once every 2 minutes or after taking 130 damage in total, whatever happens first. Then it lasts for 2 minutes after it's activated. But once the buff ends, it has a cooldown of 2 minutes before it can be used again. But just like Convert Element, once that cooldown ends, as soon as you take another 130 damage, it can be instantly reactivated again. Hasten Recovery grants us lifesteal on our melee attacks. Hasten Recovery 2 with dual blades restores 10 HP per proc, but this actually stacks and is increased by recovery up bonuses, which is why we have 3 medicine jewels, giving us 13 health restored from melee procs, and also increases your general healing across the board from items and consumables too. For the armor bonus, we have the Mutual Hostility 1, which boosts element damage when monsters are enraged, like an elemental agitator, increasing elemental damage by 20% and a bonus plus 20 flat element damage at level 1. However, you don't get a shield. That's only active if you have the 4-piece set bonus, which I'm using in my other build. This build only uses the 2-piece. And lastly, we have Guts Tenacity. The Lord Soul bonus is insane. It's about a 5% total attack increase at the cost of losing 5% total defense. But it also lets you survive a single lethal hit, preventing a cart or death completely. If you're above this threshold line on your HP bar and you die from a single hit, Guts Tenacity will activate and prevent your death, only once per hunt. Then after Guts Tenacity saves you from dying, your stats change, and instead you'll get plus 5% total defense and plus 3 to resistances. Now for the defense build, which despite defense in name, has pretty much the same top DPS output as all my other builds, but prioritizes the 4-piece set bonus for Mutual Hostility 2. Starting off with an insane 109 bonus raw attack, 75% affinity with 80% on wounds, not to mention still over 800 dragon elemental damage. For the skills, we have Peak Performance level 5, Latent Power level 5, Adrenaline Rush level 4, Burst level 3, Counter Strike level 3, Marathon Runner level 3, Weakness Exploit level 2, Speed Eating level 2, Agitator, Divine Blessing, and Aquatic Mobility level 1. And with these armor pieces, we're granted the 4-piece Gogmapocalypse set bonus, the Zuwu Vigor 2-piece set bonus, and Ebony Odogaron's 2-piece set bonus as well. But sadly no group skills, so we can't fit Guts Tenacity for our extra death immunity, which is fine since our main defense comes from the 4-piece Gog set anyways, and Mutual Hostility 2, which can basically also prevent a cart or death at least once. Except this one actually refreshes around every 2 minutes. For the weapon rolls, I'm using the exact same weapon as the previous build, made with 3 element focused discs and the exact same rolls, and also same weapon skills. The armor gets a bit specific, so pay close attention. 1-piece Zuwu Beta helmet, 3-piece Gogmazios Alpha chest, coil, and leggings, and a 1-piece G Ebony Bracers Beta, with the Power Charm level 3 and Evasion Mantle once again. Here's where we get specific. The Zuwu helmet and Ebony Bracers, they both must be transcended in order for this build to work. Transcending your armor allows you to upgrade blue or purple rarity armor pieces to gain higher level deco slots, because normally these pieces only have level 2 gem slots, but after transcending, they'll gain a level 3 gem slot, which is crucial to this build, along with all the armor skills and passives. Speaking of decos, same exact decos as the last weapon for Dragon Crit Element Hybrid, Sharp Jewel, and Expert Jewel. But for the armor, 2 Throttle Jewels, 2 Flawless Jewels, 3 Counter Jewels, 2 Tenderizer Jewels, and 3 Sprinter Jewels. This armor set makes use of 2 main skills, Peak Performance level 5 and Mutual Hostility 2 from the 4-piece Gog set bonus. Mutual Hostility is pretty simple. Again, it boosts element damage when monsters are enraged, but at Mutual Hostility level 2, it increases your element damage by 30% now, and a plus 40 flat element bonus as well. And when you have the 4-piece set bonus, you'll gain a temporary damage barrier worth 75 points of HP, essentially a second invisible health bar to protect you. This health bar nullifies damage even from one-hit attacks by Gogmazios or Omega Planetes. Barrier will last until it's destroyed or for 2 minutes, and has a refreshing cooldown of once every 140 seconds. If you play smart, you can literally go the entire hunt without ever taking any direct damage to your green health bar, which allows something like Peak Performance level 5 to potentially have infinite uptime, as Peak Performance is only active when you're at full HP value, and damage gets taken from your barrier before your health bar, which is what makes this combo so nice. Then you have the Zuwu's Vigor 2-piece set and the Burst Boost Ebony Odogaron 2-piece set. Both of these add simple bonuses to increase your damage further. The Zuwu 2-piece bonus increases your raw attack by plus 15 flat raw attack after consuming a well-done steak for 3 minutes. But this won't stack with Might Seed nor Might Pill. Either of those will replace the Zuwu buff. Burst Boost level 1 adds plus 8 raw attack to any burst activation and increases the duration by 1 second. So for dual blades, level 3 burst is plus 12 raw, and with the burst boost is plus 20 total raw from the burst skill. Lastly, we have the hard skin build. This is a special build for dual blades to use against specifically hard skin monsters, which is the exact opposite of soft skin. Because hard skin is anything less than 45 hit zone value, which is when weakness exploit stops working. And actually when things like Mind's Eye start working instead, which deals 30% bonus damage to any monster part with a hit zone value less than 45. This build features over 80 bonus raw attack with 50% affinity and over 500 dragon element damage. But this build utilizes the Omega Planetes armor set, which constantly swaps once every 90 seconds from the local purple ring to the remote red ring. And with the 4-piece set bonus, the local purple ring adds 40% bonus affinity when at least one ally is inside this purple ring, and the remote red ring adds a bonus 20 raw attack when at least one ally is outside this red ring, which, depending on which ring is active, would put you at 80 raw attack and 90% affinity in the local purple mode, and over 100 raw attack and 50% affinity in the remote mode, with another 30% bonus damage to any hard skin areas with Mind's Eye, and another 30% bonus damage from Part Breaker, giving us up to 60% increased damage to hard skin body parts for an absolute tank shredder build. For the armor skills, we have Agitator level 5, Adrenaline Rush level 4, Counter Strike level 3, Part Breaker level 3, Antivirus level 3, Burst level 2, Divine Blessing level 2, and Stamina Surge level 1. This build's weapons are a bit different. Still Dragon Element Focus with 3 Element Focus discs, but this time we need to roll Omega Resonance for the weapon's main skill. The group skill doesn't quite matter because the Omega set doesn't have group skills anyways. For the rolls, we focus on the 2 element boosts, 2 attack boosts, and 1 sharpness EX boost, giving us an even spread of DPS. The armor here is also quite specific. In my armor set, I'm wearing the brand new Sororal set, which is from the armor set that Nadia wears. To unlock and obtain it, you have to complete a pretty difficult side quest to get these. Capcom snuck this set in as rewards for a fairly recently added side quest. Nadia makes you kill a bunch of tempered monsters and then ends the quest in a 1v1 against a 9-star tempered Gormagala, which when completed will allow you to craft all of Nadia's armor. For this, we're using the earrings and the boots you get from that side quest, with the 3-piece Omega chest, arms, and coil. The Sororal earrings and Sororal boots are pretty much a better version of the Gormagala armor set and even have the same Black Eclipse passive, which when combined with Antivirus level 3, we get a bonus 25% affinity from, with the Counterattack Charm level 3 and Corrupted Mantle to top off our crit chance with another 10%. Our decos are also slightly different than the other builds. This time, Mind's Eye, because we're only going to be using this build against hard skin enemies, which again are monsters with hit zone values less than 45. This is the tank shredder build, so only use it against tanky monsters. For the armor decos, we have 4 challenger jewels, 3 sane jewels, 3 counter jewels, and 1 counterattack jewel. Fairly simple setup, yet extremely effective. These have been my top 3 dual blades builds in Monster Hunter Wilds for the most recent and up-to-date metas in 2026, with a focus on being the most up-to-date meta builds on YouTube, given that we probably won't have any major changes or updates for a while, as we all eagerly await the DLC Monster Hunter Ascendance that releases next year, later in 2027. It's gonna be a long wait. Hopefully they give us something more to hold us over until then, but as always, I've been SYROBE, and hopefully I'll see you all live on Twitch. Peace. One last thing. Don't forget to check out Diablo Immortal using my link in the description below, and use code ZergRush for free legendary rewards available now.